doing? Welcome to the Alliance Show. How you doing, Sylvester?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I almost forgot your name, so I might not be doing so well.
I printed it right here on my T-shirt.
I looked at your shirt, and I was like, oh, it's John Deere.
My name's John Deere.
Yeah, John Deere. You know, man, we can talk about that later. I got some stories about some John Deeres, boy. Seriously. I don't just look like a hillbilly for nothing. I used to love chasing my dad around. He would ride the lawnmower, his John Deere, and I have to run behind him getting all the grass. Whatever. Anyway, how you guys doing? What's going on? Welcome to the Alliance Show. We got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about, is the beard dead? You know, Craig Brzezinski brought that up in his last video over the weekend, and it's been stirring up some controversy within the bearded community. So we'll tackle that a little bit later. But you know what, man? What are we going to do first?
We're going to dive into some style consultations.
That's right. Guys, if you are just joining us for the first time, we have all the information down in the description. While you're down there, why don't you check out the giveaway? We'll announce that at 45 minutes in.
Yeah, so if you're joining us for the very first time, number one, we want to say thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
This is the Beardbrand Alliance Show. The show streams live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Beardbrand YouTube channel. So if you are returning, thanks for coming back.
Absolutely.
Hell, man, bring 2 or 3 friends next time. For next week's stream. It's going to be a fun one, dude.
Absolutely. And if you can't bring them live, don't worry. We post this thing on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere you can get it. Yep. It's there, man.
Yeah, so download it. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of the show. That feedback helps us improve the quality of the show and also give some rating reviews for Randa. So.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, why don't we quickly turn the camera around, show everyone who's running the show today, who's actually standing, not sitting. That's a bold move.
Hello. Can y'all even see me? I have this huge thing behind me.
Yeah. We
hey
put
guys,
you in
how's
front
it
of
going?
that window. Okay, so like we said earlier, we're going to go into some style consultations, and those are, again, the pictures that people send in, and we give them a little bit of advice on whether it be on their beard, their hair.
Do we need to cover what that is?
I don't think so. No? All the information is down at the bottom. Let's just jump right into it.
Cool, let's do it.
We got some things to say. Okay, so who do we have first? They should pop up right there. Bam.
Bing!
Look at that beard, man.
Man, have we seen this one yet?
We've seen one that was similar to it. You know what?
Dude.
I think 2 weeks ago, and I'm getting vibes of that one.
I don't
Aren't
know.
You?
If
it looks similar.
He could literally make a pretty good argument that the beard is not dead.
This guy is single-handedly keeping the beard alive.
Hell yeah,
do you want to describe this guy for our audio listeners real quick?
Yeah, let me describe him. So tell me again, Randa, what's his name?
Oh yeah, we should probably.
We're falling off the track here,
bit. Right,
let's jump right in.
This is Joydeep.
Joydeep, what's up?
He writes.
Really? Wow, he's been watching for a long time.
Yeah,
I know who this
he's
is.
very active on our Instagram account.
I was gonna say.
I've had plenty of conversations with this guy. Cool guy, for sure.
Yeah.
So he writes, "Hey there, my name is Joydeep. I'm from India. I'm 29, and as you can see, my stash growth is very slow as compared to my beard. I've been growing this bad boy since a year, so my year challenge is over now, but couldn't get enough on my stash. How long do I have to wait to know if I can grow a full and big bushy stash like Jeff? Also, there are patches and bald spots under my lips, this thing I just can't stand. I know I have to work with what I got, and I can't fix genetics, but hey, can you guys suggest, is there any possibility of growth under my lips in the future? Also, I want to know, should I grow more or trim a bit short? Thank you so much. Love you guys."
Okay. Sweet.
Damn.
Awesome. I like that message. There's some heartfelt words in that one, man.
India represent.
Right? Okay, you want to go ahead and describe our friend Joydeep?
Yeah, so Joydeep is a strapping man, 28, 27, 29 somewhere in there. He is apparently he is from of Indian descent, so he's got fairly dark skin, but not completely dark. It looks like the sun is hitting him in the right angles here.
Yeah.
But he has got pretty dark black hair. And as you could imagine, man, the beard is not dead with my friend here.
Not at all.
Because this is a pretty full, thick, coarse, dense.
Pretty much any adjective under the face of the earth for what we like.
This is a thick beard, man.
It sure is.
It's a good-looking beard. It's pretty big. Dude, that beard is it goes down to, I would say that's about 7 to 8 inches in length from his chin.
Yeah, easily.
And then, again, no patches in the beard at all. It doesn't look like the cheek line is being cleaned up, so it is creeping up just a bit based on this photo.
Yeah.
Like he pointed out, he does have the two. I mean, I don't know if we can really call them patches. They're pretty universal gaps right there
underneath the lip.
Beneath the lip. And the mustache is relatively full. I mean, he pointed out that it grows a little slow, but I think that's a pretty full beard. For a full mustache for a full beard.
Yeah.
But he's also rocking some really rad glasses here.
Oh,
man.
I like those shades.
These are. I don't know if these kind of look like Tom Ford glasses, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but they're dark on top, and then they kind of do that effect where they get a little bit more.
Like they transition a little bit.
They're like a bit of a red brown towards the bottom. But if I'm looking at them right, there's a little bit of a gold outline on them too. And then his hair. This is he's got some length on the top of his hair, kind of like a pompadour style.
Just a little bit.
Hair right now. I wouldn't say it's an intentional pompadour. It's kind of messy pompadour, but it looks like he has got it a fade on the sides, and it looks like maybe it's about 2 weeks of growth. It looks like he might have not seen the barber in about 2 weeks, if I had to put my finger on it. And it's probably a one guard fade. I wouldn't say that's a skin fade.
No, not down to skin.
But a one guard fade all the way up to the where you would expect it for a pompadour style haircut. And then he's got a red and black flannel shirt on. And I mean, dude, who taught this guy how to pose? Because he looks like he's ready to take a shoot for like GQ or something.
Yeah, man.
So
looks like a beard model.
Good photo. I hope that paints a good picture for you audio listeners who are listening in for the first time or listening with us again this week. Yeah.
All right,
take it away, Jack.
Okay, so the big thing that Joydeep was really interested in was that mustache. Now, you kind of said this already, Sylvester, the fact that it's actually really in proportion with the rest of his beard. He was kind of concerned that it was small. And we go back to that idea of being our own worst judge, right? Because Joydeep, man, I don't know if you're listening to this right now, but that mustache is incredible. It fits right in with the beard. If you want to do anything to make it seem like it's going to be more in proportion to yourself, maybe raise the beard up a little bit. But honestly, if you take my opinion, and probably, I think, Sylvester, you're probably going to echo this, I wouldn't touch the length at all on the beard.
Yeah,
I love that length, man.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just depends on what your goal is. If you're growing that statement beard, dude, you're killing it. It's a statement beard all on its own.
It really is.
It looks like, from this photo, it looks like you're taking good care of it with some product in there as well. I'm not sure what kind of products you're using. If I had to assume, it probably would be some type of balm. Simply because the fuller beard tends to perform a little better when you've got like a styling balm or a utility balm worked in there.
Yeah.
But the head hair, I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on his head hair, Jack?
I like the head hair. One thing I would do is I would commit fully to the skin fade with this one. Go for a high fade, because what it's going to do is, since the beard has sort of a round shape on the bottom, I think introducing the harsher sides on the skin fade is going to give him a little bit more of a square shape on the top of his head. So it's got a little bit of a contrast between the beard and the top of his head. What do you think about that?
I like it, man. If it were me, my recommendation, I'd probably change it up a bit. I'd probably go with a slick back style haircut.
Okay, I can see that going.
So you basically take some sea salt spray.
There it is.
Take some sea salt spray, work that in your hair. Take some styling balm, rub it in your hands, and kind of slick the sides back a bit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on top, but focusing right along the sides, pushing it back. I think with the big full beard, you want to have a more controlled hairstyle. So it's not messy on top and wild on bottom. It's kind of like this really free flowing beard, and then this really like not slick, not weighed down.
No, not like 80s gelled. Right?
Yeah, not like 80s gel. I'm talking about sea salt spray.
Like a little bit of that natural, right?
Get a little natural look in there, man.
Okay.
With a blow dryer, really, and kind of push that back, and kind of use the blow dryer to kind of help push it back a bit. I think that would really,
I could get into that. Yeah,
it would really enhance the look and look interesting and different.
I dig it. So Joydeep, man. I mean, do we have anything else to say? He was talking a little bit about those patches underneath, but really, you kind of answered your own question when you asked us, is there anything you can do about genetics? No, not really. I mean, you can try whatever you want. It's your face and your body, and you're able to do whatever you want with it. And if you want to try something like minoxidil, be our guest. I personally can't say too much on it. I don't have any personal experience, and I'm not going to recommend something I don't have personal experience in. So what I'll tell you, man, is I don't even think you need to mess with it, because right now your beard is really nice. I really like the beard.
Yeah, I think for the mustache, I would probably just work like a blow dryer into styling the mustache a bit to kind of give it some definition and shape. I think that might make you feel a little more confident with wearing that big beard and having that mustache, especially if you're thinking that that mustache isn't already like big enough for it.
Yeah.
But dude, it really is.
Yeah,
it really is. And this maybe making some minor tweaks like adding a blow dryer into the routine along with some mustache wax really kind of help give it some definition and shape.
Yeah, especially if you want to introduce some curl, like really small curls on the side. That's going to make it more noticeable.
Yeah. Don't look at my mustache today because I didn't really do that. But
I can see small curls in there.
Oh, they're starting to grow in.
Yeah,
but
is that just natural?
yeah, and I really did. I mean, I didn't put any mustache wax in today. It's cold outside, dude.
Yeah, I didn't put any in either. Mine's just
when it's
falling
the
right
frozen
in the mouth.
tundra, I'm like, you know what?
I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
So back
We're
to
saying
we're
saying
we're
it's
just like,
the frozen tundra. It's 35 degrees.
it's not even. It's probably 45 degrees
Yeah.
outside. We're like, I'm dying. Meanwhile, people up in Green Bay are like, screw you.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway, so Joydeep, I think that'll put it in the bag for us. You want to try and reach for that gong lever thing?
I'm
All
gonna
right, gong 'em. That's styled consultation number 1 in the bag, and everyone's getting mad that I even brought up the word minoxidil. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. I
Controversy
don't
in the
mess with that
comments.
stuff. Telling you, I'm gonna make a video about that one day. Everyone's gonna lose their mind. All right, who's this?
Alrighty. Let me just make sure I got the right one pulled
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
this is Peter.
Peter.
White, 37 years old, looking for hairstyle and beard style advice.
Okay.
He has a crew cut from being former military.
Okay.
And 2 months of beard growth.
Sure.
He attached an original email that he sent to Eric that kind of goes into like a deep dive of his growth. So
Sure.
Here he writes, "Hi Eric, I just want to say thank you for what all you do at Beardbrand. I've had a beard for about a year now since I got out of the military. I wanted to grow one since I couldn't have one in infantry, so it's been okay so far. I suffered the beard itch. I've had the beard rough, and started using Lumberyard beard oil.
Ah, a white line man.
Oil and utility balm, sorry.
Okay.
Both purchased at Target.
There we go.
Thank you for the 10-day tutorial. Looking forward to it. And I believe he's talking about our 10-day
Boot camp.
Email boot
Oh,
camp
the newsletter,
that goes fully into 10 days of beard care and hair care.
Yeah, man, that's good.
He enclosed this picture of his current length, but he wants to grow it out more.
Okay.
I realized after watching your video, I kind of effed up my neckline.
Oh.
I'm
think
just
we've all
going to
been
do
there.
the 30-day challenge of no shaving or trimming
Hey.
that you've talked about in your videos to fix it.
Okay.
I'm also not going to get a haircut for 6 weeks. My hair grows fast on the sides and in the back down my neck.
Okay.
Any style suggestions for the hair and beard? Thanks again, Pete.
Okay. So what we'll do now is I'll describe Pete for audio listeners, and then Sylvester, you're going to jump right in with that style consultation. All
Yeah,
right?
man.
Okay, so Pete is a strapping young man, fresh out of the military, rocking sort of a round-shaped face and a round beard. Heaviest parts of this beard are going to be in the jawline, where it seems he has made a mistake. Apparently, according to his own words, I don't see anything wrong with
We
the
don't see
neckline.
that in the photo.
Yeah, we can't see that in the photo. Creeps up a little bit onto the cheek lines, but those cheek lines are being kept really clean. I don't see any sort of creepers up there. Mustache kind of comes down in like an upside-down triangular kind of shape. No patches in that I can see. And the only spot where it's a little bit thinner is right there in the goatee area, just a little bit. I think that might be because of the blonde hair. But speaking of hair, let's talk about the hair upstairs. So it's a little bit farther back on his head, a little bit higher hairline. On the sides, it looks like it's almost shaved down to skin, and then we just see a tiny bit of hair creeping up from the back. Overall, though, it looks like he is wearing a black sweater. And with that, let's get into the style consultation.
Did you say his hairline is receding a bit?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Peter, man, dude, like, first of all, I love when people say, hey, this is the mistake I made, but I think it's really cool when you can say, hey, this is a mistake I made, and here's what I'm going to do to fix it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, you know, when you mess up on your neckline, or you cut a little too much on your cheek line, or you trim a little too much on your mustache, the best thing you can do is walk away from those scissors, walk away from those trimmers, and then reinvest the time to grow it back. And that 30-day length is really the appropriate time. Dude, I really don't see anything wrong with your beard. I think it looks great.
No, it's a great beard, yeah.
It's growing in, and I like the shorter, tight beard on you. Actually, if it were me, I probably wouldn't go full out unless you're going to commit to the full statement beard, like our friend we just saw,
Joydeep.
But keeping it shorter, especially with the rounder face, is going to kind of allow the focus to be towards, like that beard's going to bring the focus towards the center of your face with that round face shape. So that's why I say keep it nice and cropped.
Yeah.
And nice and clean around the neckline, like a corporate style beard. Kind of like Carlos. Carlos wears his beard really close to his face. But he's still got some depth and length on it, but he just cares for it pretty carefully. And one of the best things I think you could do with this length of beard is grab a tool called a boar's hair brush.
Oh, yeah.
The boar's hair brush, I think, is really going to allow you to train those hairs and allow you to kind of give it a more... It's not going to make your beard look fuller. It's going to shape
like more
that.
Kempt, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to look more
kempt.
kempt. And then every now and then, especially as it continues to grow, you can work a blow dryer in there and kind of push the hairs in the direction that you want them to grow in.
Yeah.
But if it were me, I also would probably invest some time into that mustache. It looks like you've got that beard pretty full around the cheek area, and it may just grow a little faster in that area, but definitely put some time into that mustache and let that grow out.
Yeah.
I would say about 60 to 90 days is the appropriate amount of time if you want to grow that mustache a little bigger. But if you are like, hey, I can't keep that hair in my mouth, I got to get that off my lip, then perfectly okay to maintain the line. And for you, your lips are a little thinner, so I probably would keep it right up against that lip so it doesn't hide too much of your lips. Like I got big lips, so
Me too, man.
So the mustache can go a little bit over my lip, but since your lips are a little smaller, I think the a clean mustache would really complement that. And that's only if you want to keep the mustache out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It's not like a big mustache stays in your mouth. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying if you can't manage it to work around that, then keeping it clean against the lip will be the better way to go.
And you suggest that by going just straight across?
Yeah. I would just trim, like a lot of guys can smile. And then
the old George Bruno method.
George Bruno method, man. He's a great insight there. I think that's a good way to maintain your mustache if you're doing it at home, or just have your barber do it.
Yeah.
As far as the head hair,
let's take a look at
dude,
that.
man, I probably wouldn't go any shorter than what you've got it now, and I probably wouldn't grow it out for a long period of time, because with receding hairline and thinning hair, you want to keep that. I wouldn't cut it off completely unless you're going to just buzz it right down like I do, but I would. Keep it that length. I think it's a really cool length, especially if you can bring some focus and some definition to that beard and mustache. The hair is not going to be an issue at all. You're going to draw the attention to your mustache and your beard versus your hair, and that's going to allow you to have a lot more confidence in your day-to-day interactions and the way you look at yourself in the mirror. And I think just keeping it short crop like you have it now, no shorter than that. Would be the key to tying that whole look in together.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. He can kind of go in two directions with the hair.
Yeah.
He can either go with a full, let's just embrace the beard and shave the top of the head, right? And some guys look really good with that, and that's actually kind of one of my guilty pleasures. I love that style. But I don't think that he should grow it super long. He said he wasn't going to go to the barbershop for a long time, but I don't know, man. I would only grow it out for, let's say, like a month to be safe, and then we go from there. Right?
Yeah, 30 days is a good benchmark.
Yeah, that seems like a good place to sort of take stock and reassess it. Same thing with the beard. If you want to go in it while you're at the barber shop and see, hey, if you trust this guy, maybe give him a shot at your beard. Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way. So that's all I got for Pete, man.
Yeah, should we gong him?
I think we should gong him.
Let's
Here,
gong
let me
him.
gong him.
I'll let you gong him.
All right, and we'll move on to number 3. Ooh,
Mark, what's up, Mark Johnson? You falling asleep?
I was going to say.
Grab some water. Grab a beer. Say cheers.
All right, who do we have for number 3?
All right, number 3 is Charles.
Charles, how you doing? Can I call
What's
you Charlie?
up, Charles?
He writes, my name is Charles. I'm 35.
Okay.
And I need some style tips on my beard, hair, and clothing.
Oh.
The style I'm trying to go for is one that makes girls attracted to me.
Ooh.
What can I do?
Hey, I appreciate the honesty.
That's a good one. That's a good statement. I enjoyed that.
Okay.
So
anything else to the message, or is that...
That's it.
Okay, cool. You want to describe him?
Yeah, man.
Charles.
Charles.
Charles. I was like, Charles.
It's going to be like Charles. So Charles, yeah, man. So Charles is a really good looking guy, man. He's got a round face shape. and his skin is olive, I would say.
Kind of
So
an
it's
olive-ish,
pretty light, light skin. I can't tell if his eyes are blue. Maybe those are contacts. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're brown. Maybe they're red. Who knows? But really good looking guy. What pops out right away for me with Charles's look is he's got really good skin, man.
He does.
The guy takes care of his skin, it looks like. So that's a really nice feature to have when you've got a beard and head hair, is good skin. So, and then he, not only does he have a round face shape, but it looks like he's keeping kind of like the Jack Milocco beard style right now. He's got it dropped pretty low,
cheek line, yeah.
like a low L-shaped
I
line.
have a side view if that helps.
Hey,
yeah,
that would
let's
help.
have a look at that side view.
Ah,
There we go.
so he's got some pretty big chops, man. You can see those chops grown pretty full. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he just doesn't grow on the cheek towards his lip, or if he's cutting that intentionally to kind of give it some shape.
Yeah.
But hopefully you get the idea that he's got some really nice sideburns and could possibly have a really cool cheek line as well.
Yeah.
But he is cleaning up the neckline, and then his hair. His hair's based on the description. If I'm trying to describe this photo for you guys, it's a pretty wet look in his hair. It's pretty long on top and then really, really short. I'd say almost
It's like a grown-out undercut.
yeah, like an undercut straight to the temple, with maybe even a really, really small fade to the hair, but it looks pretty blunt to me.
Yeah.
And then my man's he's got a hoodie.
Yeah, he does.
Got a hoodie. He's got
Blue
a hoodie
hoodie.
on, man. And I'm not sure if he's like planning to attend Alliance Conference. Is that a lanyard he's got on right now?
It looks like he's got some sort of lanyard on. I can't tell. That might just be the strings of the
It might be the strings of the hoodie, but he's got a hoodie on. It's navy blue with a red inside.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his shirt. I don't know, man. But yeah, I think he's in the bathroom with this photo.
Most guys are when they send it,
Yeah.
which is kind of odd. I don't know what that means. What does that tell you, Sylvester? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's go ahead and
John Deere.
let's have a crack at it. So, Charles, we got a couple of things. We got the big three. So, hair, beard, and style. Okay, so let's begin with the beard.
Yeah.
I'm going to offer you this, man. I can see from this side profile picture that you've got the side of the beard where the sideburns are as the thickest part of it. Then it comes in and gets a little bit thicker down here, or it gets pretty thick down here on the jawline, and then it becomes its thinnest at the mustache area where it goes into the circle beard. My challenge to you is I'm going to suggest that you thin out the line on where the sideburns are to get more of that classic L shape, so it's really sharp and it's really going to give the look of a more structured jawline. I think that's what a lot of guys try to achieve when they do this L shape. I know I am personally, but no, I think by reducing that hard line right there that's really heavy, it's going to add to the face shape. Okay, now I think you're going to agree with me on this one with the hair. I don't really like the gelled look, man. I'm going to offer you the advice of putting in something more like a cream base or more like a clay base, maybe like a styling balm. No, I'm not going to jump for sea salt spray.
Come on now.
No. We're going to avoid sea salt spray on this one, at least in this recommendation. I'm going to say that he goes straight for like a styling balm. Okay, and that's all he needs to do.
I would
Let's
agree
start
with
with
that
that, and let's see, because I think if we introduce anything like a blow dryer or the sea salt spray, we're going to get too much volume.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to look a little bit too almost like puffy on the top of the head.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking just this the styling balm or like a cream-based product is going to be really well for him to slick it kind of back, but almost look like he's not even trying that hard to slick it back. Give it kind of that carefree look, all right?
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to maintain the, the undercut, you really got to maintain that, okay? So really got to make sure that you're going in and getting that trimmed up every once in a while, because I like the transition of kind of a harder undercut that doesn't look like it's just a part of the beard, because at the stage it is right now, it looks like it's just like an extension of the beard. And I'm not sure if I completely dig that. I don't know. I'm just like going back and forth. I'm like shooting.
With his sideburns?
Yeah, see how it kind of just immediately looks like it's almost the same length as the sideburns?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. I want more of a hard transition. Maybe even if he's shaved right where the sideburn is.
I
right
think
above the temple.
I think it all depends upon like what his growth pattern is.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fill in here, I can see the logic in coming straight down and across. But whether you can or you can't let that grow in.
Yeah.
What I would probably prefer a swoop versus the hard L.
More of the curve, like the natural curve.
Yeah, because I think on a round shaped face that complements the face shape a little better.
The round with the round, yeah.
Yeah, versus the hard L. If you do the hard L, it really makes your face kind of look more round shape, and with the
it almost looks like you're hiding it behind the beard a little bit.
And with the swoop, it's going to kind of flow naturally with your face shape.
I can see that. Yeah.
I would go for the swoop and maybe have a barber do that, and then you can follow those lines when you shave if you shave at home over the following weeks. But I'd go to a barber and have him do that professionally, because he's going to be able to get it symmetrical for you, and then you can just follow his lines. But I would also probably let that head hair, that blunt cut right there, I'd let that grow in a bit and then have them nicely faded. Yeah. Because with the sharp line coming down and then the blunt style, it really takes away from your look. Yeah. And you really have the ability with the good skin that you've got, man. Like, you've got a really good ability to tie your whole look together with a couple of suggestions that Jack shared and the one with the swoop and getting a better fade.
Yeah, he's got a lot of material.
Well, and it's not that it's a bad fade. It's just not a good style. It's not a good look if you want to tie it all together.
It's not the full suited thing that can bring him to his highest potential, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's maximizing, taking this feedback and implementing it should help you find that confidence that you're looking for.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna translate in your style. It's gonna translate in the way you communicate. I think he said he wanted to have some confidence to talk to girls. Was that?
Yeah, he wanted to find a style that makes him more attractive to women.
Yeah, and really, man, confidence is what attracts. What is attractive, not necessarily your attire or your beard style or your hairstyle. It's the confidence within that is going to be attractive to the opposite sex or to whoever you're trying to appeal yourself to.
Yeah. So let's take a look a little bit below the beard. He was asking about his style. So the first thing I would jump to, man, Charles, is there's a big world of fashion out there. I'd say find a brand that you like and that you trust, and just stick with that at the beginning. Find something that you can invest just a few choice pieces in, and just kind of build your wardrobe out from that. And I'm not saying you got to throw everything away. I'm saying, like, okay, maybe you just go out one weekend to like the outlets and you find, like, okay, I'm going to stick with Ralph Lauren, right? Just buy a couple things, maybe just a few shirts and maybe a pair of slacks for the first time. And then you start working that into your wardrobe. Start seeing a change in the way people are treating you, or the way that, women are starting to talk to you. Then if it's working, maybe you find the confidence to continue to wear that type of stuff, and it starts to become your wardrobe now. What do you think, Sylvester?
Yeah, man, I think so. A couple of thoughts. One, hoodies are cool, man.
I do like this hoodie. I actually do like this one.
I like to wear hoodies as well, but I would save the hoodie for your workout or if you just got a no activity type of day where you're just trying to stay comfortable.
Just hanging out.
To me, hoodies are a comfort piece of clothing.
It's like the sweatpants of the upper body.
Yeah. And so if you want to step it up, then I would go for a button-up shirt, and really stripes are going to be your best friend. Horizontal stripes.
Oh, horizontal.
Not
like,
horse stripes, Jack.
No.
Horizontal stripes.
No. I heard horizontal. I'm saying horizontal. Interesting.
Oh, not horizontal. Vertical.
Vertical. I was going to say horizontal. I was confusing that one. Like, I don't usually hear people recommend horizontal stripes.
Yeah, I would. No, not horizontal. Vertical stripes on a shirt, because that's gonna, again, because of your round face shape, your taller stature, your bigger stature. I probably would go for the vertical stripe shirt, because that's gonna give you some depth this way versus depth this way.
I was gonna say you don't want the horizontal, because then no matter what, anyone just looks wider when you wear horizontal.
And if you want to reach for plaids are cool too, but I would avoid avoid the check, and I'd go for maybe something a little bit more like Jack has, where it's a bigger pattern, a bigger
kind of
print.
Like a flannel almost.
Yeah, just kind of a wider pattern instead of a small pattern, because that's going to make you look like the shirt's too small on you. And getting a pattern that's proportional to your chest and to your body shape is really going to be key. So
yeah, absolutely. So I've got one more thing before we move on from our friend Charles. Randa, would you like to turn the camera around and offer your 2 cents on this? Now, he was interested in what he thinks, or he would like to know, what would make women more attracted to him. So as a woman, I'd kind of like to hear your opinion on this, actually.
Sure, if I can block the light to where y'all can actually see me. I think Sylvester said it perfectly. Confidence, when you have that, it kind of shines from within and out. So the more confident you start to build, the more that you'll be able to see that on the outside. And To me, it really is. It doesn't matter if you have the cleanest beard lines or like the best hairstyle out there. As long as you can rock it with pride and you are like, this is my style, this is what I like, then that's way more attractive than, you know, pulling at everything that you have and then like grasping for, you know, that extra attention. If that in some way can speak as not being confident at all, you know. The fact that you can like overshoot it a little bit.
Yeah.
So just baby steps, like start small and find some stuff that you like. And whenever you're passionate about something, that also is very attractive. So, you know, find your passion, find what you like, and be able to express it from within. And yeah, Sylvester said it pretty much on the dot. And I would have to agree.
Yeah.
And, you know, if all else fails, man, just rock a mullet. Dave Banks just said rock a mullet. He needs a mullet.
Dave Banks is in here, man. It's more of a Dave Banks mullet's more of a. I was gonna say skullet, but you know what a skullet is? Have you ever seen that?
No.
That's where you don't have any hair up top, but you got the sides, and you let that grow out. That's the skullet.
Don't go
I think
for
the
skullet
needs to make a comeback.
Don't go for the skullet, man.
So anyway, Charles, that's style consultation in the bag. Let's gong him, man.
Let's gong
move on to special topics. I know we put this thing farther and farther away every week. There it is. We gotta set up something so that we just press a button and then it'll automatically hit the gong for us. I love that. Or we can just put it across the room and throw stuff at it. Either way. Charles, get off the screen.
Charles.
Look at that. Oh, I thought I could go in front of him. I'm behind him. Wait,
Charles.
You notice that? Sometimes I go in front of him.
Do you want to hang out here with us, Charles?
I was gonna say. Anyway, so our topic of I'm just killing time now. Anyway, so our topic of today, if you guys saw the title, was "The Beard is Dead."
Is it dead?
I don't know.
Or is it alive?
So I got some thoughts on this. I got two schools of thought on this. In the way that people think the beard, in the way that we think of a very predated kind of old school kind of way, like a 2012 kind of way, I think that's dead. All right. Now I've got a couple reasons for it.
No, wait, hang on.
Okay,
Explain this to me. In a 2012 kind of way, it's dead. What does that mean?
The beard as we knew it, right? The beard that Beardbrand kind of went against at the beginning, when we kind of thought what beards were, when it was kind of this new thing. It was really trendy. You know, you saw the man bun coming out, and everyone started growing beards, and everyone was starting to wear suspenders again and stuff like that. I think that version of the beard, I think that trend is dying out. I think we're finally starting to see that trend sort of cycling out. But if you want to look at it in general, because it's a very different time period now in 2019 than it was in 2012, I think the beard is alive and well. And I think the beard is taking on a whole new life in this sort of naturalistic sort of, I'm just going to make this part of my appearance and I'm not going to let this thing define me anymore.
So let's narrow down that a little bit further, Jack. So
sure.
The 2012 version, in your opinion, the beard is dead. It's the
that original kind of
just grow it long and wild and just be free.
Exactly. That sort of like anti-establishment, sort of the original hipsters of the new 2010s era. I think that's done.
Okay, and then what is this modern version of the beard that you think is alive and well?
I think it's the definition of what we call the urban beardsman, man. I think it's the guy that he doesn't let the beard define him, and it's just a piece of him. It's part of this greater picture that is this man who is successful in life, that knows what he wants, that knows how to take care of himself, and he just happens to have a beard, you know?
Interesting.
We met some really interesting people yesterday when they came into the shop. We met 2 doctors, we met a real estate agent, and of course the founder of Beardbrand himself was here in the barbershop area right here. We were cutting hair, and almost every single one of these guys had some sort of facial hair, yeah?
Yeah.
And they were all successful in their own regard. And I think that's what's really cool about today is when you saw it in the original way of the beard, it was sort of like these young, scrappy guys that were becoming, not yet successful, but they were becoming successful. And people kind of viewed them as like, you know, the hipster kind of thing. You know, like I don't even think the hipster is a thing anymore. You know, it's just there isn't that natural click. But I think that idea is just gone out the window as people have just become more accepting and, you know, more caring about how they look.
Interesting.
What do you think about that? I'm just throwing all these things at you. And I'm like,
no,
what sticks?
I'm
You're
really
processing?
I'm processing what you're saying. I'm processing what you're processing.
You're processing what
I'm processing what you're saying.
What I'm professing.
And what you're professing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. I mean, that's a real interesting perspective.
Yeah.
For me, in my opinion, beards are not dead, and I want to drop
Not in any
I
sense
want to
of the
drop
word?
a couple F-bombs in there, but they're not dead.
Okay.
I don't think. I think if anything, they're more relevant and more alive than anything. What I do think, it's not a matter of being dead or alive, but I think intentionality is a big aspect
I think that's a big word for
of men's grooming and how men are choosing to invest in themselves. You know, back in the early days, working class men and businessmen, men from all walks of life, paid attention to their grooming. They went to the barber frequently. They styled their hair and cared for themselves in a way. And we kind of, I think, as we modernize and as we evolutionize, or as we evolved as a society, I think that we kind of lost that sense.
There was
There was this kind of like
line.
this rebellion against you know, the what it was to really care for yourself, and either A, you rebelled, or B, you just weren't brought up with it because your dad was like, hey, screw all that. But I don't know, man, like, or they just didn't care.
Yeah,
but
that's another one.
I think that intentionality is a big thing, and beards are alive. I don't think they are dead. Obviously, we don't.
Not even the
believe that.
2012 version.
No, I think, but I do think, like, I think that you know, taking care of your beard, making sure that you maintain a well-groomed beard, is very much a thing. And let me define what, in my opinion, what a beard is.
Okay.
So, because I think that's the perception of today, of maybe the 2012, as you were saying.
I was going to get
the
into
perception of that 2012 beard, where you just kind of grew carelessly, right?
Yeah, everything
I think
was on the table.
There is a paradigm shift that needs to happen, because it's like, oh, you got to have a long beard in order to have a beard.
You either have Joydeep's beard or you've got nothing.
Exactly, right? And I think that a beard can be defined as short as stubble.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of guys don't realize, like, I know a lot of my friends, some of my friends, they rock like maybe 2 or 3 weeks stubble.
Yeah.
And then they don't think, oh, I don't have to put anything on my face.
Yeah.
And the truth is you probably should be. That's probably the most critical point to put something in, because one, it's going to itch, and number two, when you're washing your face, you're basically drying out and cleansing your the oils, the natural oils. So beard oil is going to be a really good friend. And I think that if you've got anything from really, really short stubble, like 1 day stubble, to 2 or 3 week stubble. Yeah. If you got hair coming out of your face, you got a beard, man.
Yeah, that's a beard.
It's a freaking beard.
And that's a beard in the 2019 definition, right?
Exactly.
That's the way that we've looked at it now. And it's funny, I mean, I bring this whole topic up because he's right there in the chat. Greg Brzezinski made a video about that this weekend. And what he did in this video over the weekend, if you guys didn't check it out, it's actually really interesting, is he analyzed an article that was written back in the Wall Street Journal back in 2016. And that was sort of a lot of different beard publications, you know, like different beard websites, I guess would be the best way to say it. Not like beard publications like magazines, but people were all kind of referencing this article as like the end of times, right? Like it's going to be, this is it. All the beards are done. All these hipsters are going to go away and they've all started shaving and it's over. And the beard and oil industry is done and, you know, pack it up. Let's go home. And what Greg analyzed was the fact that, no, not really. We just sort of had changed the perception of things. He saw that trendsetters in those early days of 2010, or of the 2010s, you know, in 2011, 2012, and ultimately when it was like at its peak, I'd say at 2014, is when people were starting to put beards on models. And you saw you know, even Carlos Costa was a great example of this. That is the time when he had the gigantic beard. Yeah. Ricky Hall was the same way, and so was even who was another big?
Luke Dattila, I think.
Was he at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Luke,
I think
Luke was one of them.
John Millington had his big beard.
Chris Millington.
Chris John Millington.
John Mario.
That's it.
Yeah.
Chris Millington had his big beard at that point. I'm just like saying names. I'm like, yeah, that guy. But he had that big beard at that time too. So, you know, you saw the shift as we entered this second half of the decade where guys started going a little bit short and they tried to experiment a little bit more. I mean, obviously you saw even big heavy hitters like Eric Bandholtz was shaving down the beard, doing the beard stash. Jeff Boncristiano did the beard stash for a while too, popularized it. But even then, you know, people were still kind of hesitant to call that the beard. And I think it's only now that we're okay with saying, okay, this is all now under the spectrum of beards.
Yeah.
And so I think when people say the idea that the beard is dead, they go back to that, the big gigantic one.
Yeah, and as we're sitting here talking, I mean, maybe the beard, in a sense, is dead in the fact that it's like all beard or nothing.
Yeah.
But it's really more about hair, beard, skin.
Yeah.
And guys putting being more intentional to care for themselves.
Right.
In a way. And like I said, like at the end of the day, a beard can be an accessory to help change the way it's like putting on a particular shirt that you just feel confident in, or you're trying to exhibit a style. It's a way of highlighting your style and adding to your style and changing. I mean, there's guys who maybe aren't as comfortable with their chin or as comfortable with a certain aspect of their face, and a beard completely changes that. Look for
like
them.
night and day, man.
So I think from the aspect of like being careless with your beard and being careless with how you care for yourself, and from a grooming aspect, that is dead. I would say that is dead.
Yeah, the kind of slacker beard.
Yeah, and what is alive is men changing the way they look at themselves and how they invest in themselves, and whether you've got a patchy beard or you've got a really insane dense beard, or you've got head hair and it's really full head hair, or it's bald. I think guys, the perception is shifting, the paradigm is shifting from all beard or nothing to all caring for yourself so you can be the best version of yourself for others. Is the mantra we're marching under now.
We're getting to the trend of self-care, and that's a trend I can get behind, and I like that. And it's funny because, I mean, even the beard itself, it really was a trend. I mean, going all the way back to the really, really olden days. I'm not talking 2012. I'm talking like 1912, right? Where only the wealthy had the beards. And I saw someone commented that.
Interesting.
Is that, back in the day, only the wealthy really were growing out their big, those big gigantic mustaches. Remember we did the episode on weird beards and we saw Burnside? And he had the big friendly mutton chops, remember? So really only guys, at the top of the top were growing out things like this. I mean, of course, other people were growing it, but you only saw them in these crazy styles or in these crazy good conditions because those guys could afford to take care of it. And nowadays guys are thinking, okay, now that, everyone's got a little bit more scratch, they can, maybe get something to invest in themselves. Guys are more willing to invest a little bit of money that normally they probably wouldn't in themselves now, and in their appearance, going beyond just their clothing or maybe just their haircut. Yeah. And it's nice. It's really nice to see that.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. But one thing I have noticed, man, is I guess I see beards everywhere now. So...
I do too. Like I said, if you've got any length of hair, whether it's incredibly short stubble, like 1 day stubble, for guys, maybe that's a 1 hour stubble.
The old 5 o'clock shadow.
To the long full beard, man. Like, dude, it's a lot of guys are embracing the aspect of wearing what they're able to wear with confidence, and rocking what you've got. Whether that's, again, a patchy beard, or that's a full beard, or it's short stubble or long stubble, or it's no head hair, or it's full long hair down to your back. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a really cool evolution. It's a really cool thing to see evolve is you've got to be like beard. Yeah. And only beard. Right. To no, man, like it's not just the beard. It's more than the beard. It's how do we evolve to care for ourselves in a way that allows us to be better for our communities and circles of influence.
Now, it's interesting. I've also got this other article I found when I was looking up some stuff on this topic. And this one gets into a little bit more of the antagonistic version of this idea. And it was...
Oh, yeah.
Not so this is one of them. Can we go back to that first one in the middle? It was the Wall Street Journal. Part of it was the bottom of this article, which showed off... The subject line of it was celebrities with dodgy beards or something like that. And the first one they put up there is Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm like, man, that is such an old way of thinking. Going like, okay, you look at Leonardo DiCaprio's beard in this picture, and yeah, maybe the lighting's not perfect, but the lighting's not perfect on us. And man, they're saying that this beard looks terrible and that he shouldn't have it. I mean, they use examples of Jim Carrey growing out his beard. They use an example of Stephen Colbert growing out his beard, and they use an example of Keanu Reeves growing out a beard. And to that end, I go like, man, this is just, it almost seems like they're just trying to do like outrage marketing. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to throw it out there and say like, hey, unless you can grow the Viking beard, you shouldn't grow a beard.
Yeah.
And why don't you keep on shaving? Because
Right.
that's a better way that all men should look like, you know, with no beards at all. And now in 2019, you know, this article is only 3 years old, and it's like, God, this is such an archaic way of looking at this stuff. It just seems so like, man, that's rough. And you know, that's rich coming from a guy who literally has a series going on right now where I'm telling celebrities how to change their beards. And listen, guys, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I don't suggest that you follow that. And I'm only doing that series as a way to do like the same way that we do the style consultation here. I just want to make sure that everyone gets to the level of beard that they probably have the best way in. And I never suggest that anyone should completely shave their beard. You know, if they want a beard, they should have a beard.
Well, I think it's about maximizing your potential.
Absolutely.
You know, even if you were to go beyond the beard and style, like how do you maximize your potential? What are you doing today for yourself that's going to cause you to maximize your potential? You can look at it the same way with grooming.
Oh yeah,
is
absolutely.
like how do you maximize your potential if you've got a guy, you know, anybody who, and that's kind of what we do here with the style consultations is give you suggestions and recommendations and insight that's going to help you maximize your style to the best of your ability, whether that's with a beard or without a beard, with hair, without hair, with clothes, definitely.
Definitely with clothes. Stop sending those shirtless pictures, guys.
But you know, like how do you maximize the potential of your style?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how do you maximize your potential to be the best man you can be?
And grooming is a big part of that. And it really is just one avenue, but it's a big avenue. I don't think a lot of people notice that. But again, we get back to that 2019 idea that I think people are starting to get savvy to that, and it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when I see stuff like that, that kind of bums me out. And what's even worse is there was another article I found that was written by The Guardian. It's in the other tab, Randa, that they did a survey. It was over in England that they found it was like 43% of women that they surveyed like wouldn't get with guys that had any sort of facial hair. Now, I think that was really biased. I think the way that they were doing that was really bad sampling, and that was one of those straw man polls that I feel like. And they had some anecdotal evidence that, you know, some people didn't like it, but across the board, it seemed like most people enjoyed it. And a lot of the guys that they interviewed were like, listen, I'm not growing the beard so that I can, you know, attract a woman in my life or whatever. I'm growing this because I enjoy it. And it makes me feel like the best man that I can be. And I like
agree.
that. Now, of course, that goes back to the idea of like, okay, you shouldn't care what anyone else thinks. But, I mean, obviously, your significant other should have a little bit of input on that. But, you know, I think, you know, in today's time, it's okay to grow a beard because you like it, because you want it, because you want to take care of it, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So, as we get back to the whole thing, is the beard dead?
No,
it is not. The 2012 hipster beard,
kidding.
in my opinion, yeah, that's dead. The whole grow it out, don't care about it, that's, you know, maybe that's done. The era of self-care, the era of men being the best version of themselves is upon us. And it's alive and it's well.
Yeah, and I mean, self-care, I know, I mean, this is a very honest, raw conversation.
Absolutely,
like, between
man.
us.
And
So, like,
I appreciate that we're going there.
I don't know, man. Maybe I shouldn't even share that thought yet. I'll save that one for a different day.
For a different episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Different episode.
All right, cool. So let us know, guys. What do you think? Is the beard dead in your opinion? I'm sure a lot of people were
Everybody's saying, no, it's not dead.
I think people came in here ready to attack us. Right? Beardbrand's over. It's mullet brand now.
The mullet's not dead.
The mullet's not dead. Well, we'll see. I filmed a mullet yesterday, man. It's interesting. But anyway, so we are getting into the part where it's time to call out our winners for the live stream, or for the giveaway. Not the live stream. This is a live stream. Randa, do you have those winners ready for us?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, guys.
All
Who do we
right.
have?
Congratulations, Stephen Booth, Rob Erickson, and Jeff Haugen.
Hagen?
23.
Nice. Congratulations, guys. Sylvester, will you give them a gong? Let's get a nice strong gong for these three. Nice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, guys, this is the part where we turn it to you. If you guys have any questions for us, lay them on us. Otherwise, we will just continue to shoot the shoit until we're done. All right? So, man, it's an interesting thing as we talk about that, like the beard being dead. And, you know, I did realize going into it, even back, I guess it really was, I guess it was about 2012 that I really started getting serious about trying to grow a beard myself. That's when I found this channel. And that was kind of in the midst of that, you know, it's the all or nothing kind of thing. I mean, Were you trying to grow a beard in that time?
Yeah, I think
I know we were
back
different ages.
Well, yeah, I think back in 2012, 13, I wouldn't grow a beard. And I say it quite often. I've grown out a year before. I've done a full year.
Yeah.
And sometimes
When did you do that year, though? What
I
year
did that
was
in
it?
2013.
So it really was in
yeah,
that midst,
in
like
that
that
midst.
2012 to 2014.
And
period.
man, like my dad and his dad, like, I mean, it's no news to anybody. I classify myself as a patchy beard, right? So, but the one thing that growing out that year taught me was how to embrace myself with confidence.
Yeah.
And I worked in a very professional setting at that
very
time.
executive kind of environment.
Yeah, very very, very posh type of environment. I'm talking like slacks and shirt and tie, business attire,
very
if you will.
white collar kind of thing.
And like it was just more about taking care of myself and presenting myself in the way that allowed other people to embrace the fact that I had a beard, and at that a patchy beard. But I was saying, like, my dad and his dad could not grow a beard. They grew some pretty gnarly mustaches, but they couldn't grow a beard because it was pretty patchy or it just didn't exist at all in their genetics. And they have incredible skin, though.
Well,
but it's it just really, that process and that journey kind of taught me a lot about myself. Taught me a lot of patience. Taught me how to be a little more confident. Truthfully. I was pretty young at that time too, so but taught me how to again rock what I've got. And now these days I just prefer to keep the beard a little short, really short actually, unless I'm going to go for that full statement.
Go
again.
for the full piece.
But and you've grown a year out. I mean, you know what it's like, man, and you got incredible genetics, Jack.
Well, I got a little scary at the end, but it was an interesting process. But I'll turn it back over. I did see some comments start to roll in with some questions.
Sweet.
I don't want to throw those aside. Randa, will you be able to scroll back up and grab some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Start with that.
So we have a question from Mark Prince.
Mark Prince.
What's up, Mark?
He asks,
nice guy.
My barber jacked up my beard on Saturday. Should I completely shave it and start over?
Wait,
I
his
don't
what?
want the growth to be jacked up.
His what jacked up his beard?
His barber.
Oh, I thought you said something. I thought you said his rubber. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude.
I thought you said rubber too.
I'm like, how did that happen? Okay, so his barber messed up his beard, right?
Correct.
And he wants to know if he needs to start over, or what was the second part of the question?
He wants to know if he needs to completely start over because he doesn't want the growth to be
really noticeable,
jacked up.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, without seeing a photo, I can't really give
we don't know what part he
solid
jacked up.
advice. But my advice would be to try and maybe clean. It depends. Like if it was a neckline, that's
that's an easy fix. That's a easy fix.
If you've had some like length on that beard, you might be able to brush it out in a certain way where it's not as noticeable.
Right.
So I would continue to grow it out. Don't lose the time that you've invested in your beard.
Yeah, you don't need to start over.
I don't think you need to start over, but again, it's hard to see without a photo. But in most cases, 9 times out of 10, you don't have to start over.
Yeah, Mark, I'd suggest you find a style in the meantime that works with what you do have. Maybe you shave a little bit so that you can achieve a style. If you've got, the predominant mustache and goatee, do the scruffy goat while it's growing back out. Otherwise, find a pattern that works while it's growing out, okay? And you can even thin it out a little bit as you go so that it's a little bit more even, okay? Do we have any more questions that we can grab?
Yeah, Anwar Hussein asks, what were your beard patterns as teens?
It's a good question. What about you? What do you have?
Oh, dude, I mean, again, patchy beard, so I don't think I could grow even what I've got now until I was like 28.
Really?
Yeah, and the same thing with the mustache. It kind of just got a little more. The mustache got more dense as I got older. But 18, dude, I was 17. I was trying to shave my sideburns so they would grow in because all my cousins have really cool sideburns.
Yeah, and you wanted some sideburns?
Yeah, dude, I was a 90s
Oh, did
kid.
you do the shave to try and make it grow thicker?
Yeah, back then, and that was my pattern. I didn't really have one. It was patchy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was what it was, man. You can't go back and change it. I mean, you look back at that time, it's like, okay, realistically, if you could have those sideburns, would it really make that much of a difference in where you are now? Not really.
Nah.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, at the moment, it's like the most important thing in the world, but at the end of the day, it's just hair, right?
Yeah, man.
So anyway, my pattern was I had a very, very, very small mustache, like just 2 little eyebrows on my upper lip. And then I had a pretty strong goatee. Actually, in middle school, I wore a goatee, just the goatee. And then as I got into high school, I had these really thick patches, kind of like Victor Brzezinski, Greg Brzezinski's son. It kind of looks like that.
Nice.
And then I had some serious growth in my neck.
When did it really kick in for you full gear, though?
Dude, the day I really noticed, I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm really going to do this, was when I was 20 and I noticed my beard connected. Like when the mustache connected to the goatee, I was like, all right, game time. And that's when I absolutely started taking care of it. That's when I got way back into Beardbrand, because I went away from it for a while. I went like, I'll just kind of every once in a while grow it out when I'm lazy or whatever and see how it looks. And I like to try out different styles. I was rocking the Van Dyke every once in a while, but it was once it connected, I went, okay, now I'm really going to start taking care of it. And I wish I didn't, because that's a dumb way to look at it. Because it's like, okay, only if you can achieve this certain style should you take care of it. No, you should take care of it whatever style you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I was doing some stupid things back then. Did I ever tell you the story of when I stuck my head over like a boiling pot of water to like steam my face every morning?
You did?
To see if I could get it to grow faster. I was like, yeah, this will work. Yeah. I learned that from YouTube too. I for the longest time thought that was part of Beardbrand. I was like, man, why would they tell me that crap?
Man, dude.
No, it was some other channel. Anyway. So we got a few more minutes. Do we have any more questions you saw, Randa, or should we just scroll and find some?
Warship Society asks, how often do you wash your beard, and does it change as it gets longer?
Do you mind if I go with this one first?
How often do you wash your beard, and do you change the routine as it gets longer?
Yeah.
The answer is you should. It really is going to depend on your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So if you are sweating every single day, and you are just out there and you've got drips of sweat coming off your beard, then you probably want to consider washing it with a good quality beard wash, one that's formulated for your hair, for your beard. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys, it still surprises me how many guys don't really know that there's a slight difference in the way some of these products are formulated.
Yeah, a lot of guys will just grab for shampoo.
Yeah, and it's not. I've heard it's not necessarily bad, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it's going to dry out your skin, and if you don't believe us, just try it.
But, no, seriously.
But grab yourself a quality beard wash, and funny enough, we have one. So grab a good beard wash every day, and then soften every day with a beard softener. Yeah. But again, man, that's really going to be dependent on the texture of your hair and how oily or dry your skin is. Because if you got really dry skin, you don't want to wash it every day.
No.
It's just going to be dependent upon a couple of factors. But what do you do, Jack, these days?
These days, I'm washing my beard 2 to 3 times a week. I'm conditioning with the softener, I'd say at least 5 times a week. Sometimes 7 if I'm really being vigilant. But if I'm being a little bit more conservative, as I get to the bottom part of my beard softener bottle, I start to get a little bit more conservative with it. That's when I switch over to that 5-day thing. But what's interesting is, as it gets longer, especially when I had the year to the end, that's when I started noticing that maybe I need to wash it 4 to 5 times a week. But even then, if you go into that 5 and you start to get a little bit overzealous with that, that's when you notice it can get a little bit more dry, and you're going to have to start using a little bit more oil or a little bit more balm when you get out of the shower. And I wasn't a big fan of that. So it's really a big balancing act of finding what really works for you. Because there's no like set in stone kind of thing. Some dude with Italian genetics that grows a really curly beard is not going to have the same genetics as some dude from India, right? Yeah. So, it's going to be different for each guy.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
Yeah. All right, how about we answer one more? Or no, let's do 2 more. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll get out of here. How about that one right there from Saeed? Would you recommend coconut oil or mustard oil for beard for guys who cannot afford beard oil? That's an interesting one. Mustard oil. I've never heard of that being recommended.
Yeah, I've never heard of mustard oil either, but
I don't think I've heard of mustard oil in general.
If you can't afford it, if you are in the U.S., Saeed, we do have, and a lot of guys may not know this, we've got our white line in Target.
Yep, $14.99.
And it is a Beardbrand product. It's formulated to the same standard as all our products.
Yes, sir.
So I would recommend getting some of that if that's the concern. But hell, man, I think you should try to experiment. I think out of the 2, I'm probably a little more familiar with coconut oil.
Yeah,
but,
I've done that in my beard.
I would probably start with very, very little and rub it on top of your skin, on the top of your hand. Do like a tester. Just kind of test it and see how your skin takes it. See if it pulls in the oil really really quick, or if it saturates throughout the day. But then kind of depending on that experiment, what I would do is probably move it to my beard.
Yeah. And there's definitely benefits to the coconut oil. I mean, I personally don't like it very much.
I've heard it dries, for some guys, it dries out their hair.
Some guys, yeah, I've heard that. And then
So
obviously the one I always say is
it's not going to be the same across the board.
Yeah, is the smell. That's the one for me. I don't like the smell. I like the smell of coconuts. I don't like the smell of coconuts at the end of the day when my beard is kind of gnarly and I can smell coconuts still when I'm going to bed. Yeah. I'm like, God damn, I just want to go to bed.
I prefer coconut oil in my coffee.
Coconut oil in your coffee?
Yeah, coconut oil or coconut milk.
Okay, coconut milk. Yeah, that's fine. But what are you on about with this coconut oil?
Yeah, if you take some coconut oil, take a scoop, and put it in your coffee.
What does that do? Does it add like a flavor?
It's a little bit of a sweetener.
Oh, wow.
Without the sugar and all the other stuff.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, man. Yeah. So we got one request, actually, I noticed in the chat. Yeah. Someone asked, I think it was Anwar, wanted to see you without your hat on. They wanted to see what your hair looked like. He wanted to see what your hair looked like.
Dude, man, go back to last week's stream. I rocked the first part of the stream without my hat on.
Yeah, you actually didn't have a hat on for the most part of it.
You were in that chat, too.
Actually, yeah, he asked last time, but I think we got busy.
But that's, dude.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit longer.
Yeah, well, I mean, I keep it short.
Yeah.
I probably rock like what is it?
One guard.
A one guard, but it's an open one guard, so it's not a closed true one guard.
So it's like a 1.5.
Yeah,
kinda.
sort of.
Yeah,
sort of. But yeah, man, I've had pretty long hair. I've had short hair, and you know.
Would you ever go for the full Mahesh like what Mahesh has right now?
I don't think so, man. Mahesh has probably a little better genetics than I do.
I was actually surprised when I saw that. You know, he'd always had that shaved head since I started doing the videos, and then all of a sudden he started growing that hair, and I kind of like the look with the hair. Although it does cover up his head tattoos, which are really dope.
Yeah, his head tattoos are cool, and he's going to be here in a few weeks here in Austin. He may even join us on the stream.
Yeah, I was going to say, let us know, guys. Who would you like to see while we're have everyone in town? I mean, we've obviously got Greg Brzezinski, we've got Carlos Costa, we've got. I think Jake the Barber would be interested in stopping by. Maybe, who knows? Mahesh probably stop by. Obviously, Eric. All of us are here.
Carlos will be here.
Yeah, man.
Carlos might be here next week, actually.
No, I think it's a week and a half from now.
Oh, okay.
But he's coming soon. I'm looking forward to that, though. That's going to be really good.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to need to get some more chairs, man.
Yeah.
More chairs and a wider angle lens because we're not all going to fit in here.
We're going to need someone to pop back here with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can put people back there.
We'll get one of them to run the stream and just see how it goes.
Have people like in the mirror. It'll be great, though.
It's going to be good, man. And if you don't know what we're talking about, we've got the Alliance Conference coming up.
Yeah.
You might see some of the guys in the chat if you're watching live on YouTube right now. Mm-hmm. They're excited to come. We're going to be convening right here on the campus of Beardbrand in Austin, Texas. So if you're in the area, there's a few seats left, a few tickets left available. And if you don't want to get the full experience, make sure to grab yourself a general admission ticket because the general admission ticket gets you on the property, gets you a lot of perks actually. Mm-hmm. We'll be connecting. Some will be having beers, some will be having water, some will be having meat, some will not be having meat.
Yeah, so, exactly. We got all walks of life here, folks.
Dude, man, it's going to be a fun time, and it's not a major like.
Oh no, we're not going to blow the roof off.
It's not like thousands of people are coming. This is a very intimate. Private time with Beardbrand, with Eric, Carlos, Greg, Mahesh, Jake, Jack, myself, Randa, all of the Beardbrand team will be here. So check it out, man. Come hang out with us. And if not, you'll catch a video on YouTube.
Yeah, there'll be multiple videos going up so that maybe next year you can join. It's going to be fun, guys. And then, of course, we've also got the party going on.
Oh, dude, we've got
That's going to be awesome.
And if you don't grab a ticket for either of those things, at least come to the free party we're throwing on Thursday night.
Oh, that's going to be
in downtown Austin. We call it Dirty Six.
Oh, yeah.
Street. Notorious 6th Street, known around the world. Definitely come hang out with us. And
it's going to be fun. That's going to be really fun.
Party with us till they kick us out.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll just take it to the bars across the street, man. We're going to keep it going. Either way, it's going to be fun, guys. Looking forward to it. If you can make it, come on out. It's going to be a great time. And until then, guys, hey, until we see you next time, keep on growing.
Keep pushing forward, man. Keep on growing.
And we'll see you next time. Same beard channel, same beard time, same bearded blokes. Whatever.
That was hurtful. Woo!
I was scared I was going to knock over my microphone stand.